You are listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right, here we go again. So I've been thinking about it. That's the Jonathan Luna case again. And this theory is moving a little further than the other theories. So we have Jonathan Luna and Jonathan Luna's FBI friend, and they investigate cases together. When an investigator is investigating a case, the U.S. attorney or the assistant U.S. attorney that is assigned to the case helps manage the investigation. So, although it is thought that assistant U.S. attorneys prosecute cases, they also investigate cases. So they're investigating a case. I'm not at liberty to tell you what Jonathan Luna's friend would be investigating. However, I can tell you that the deep state would kill somebody or cause death of somebody to liberate one of their deep state people from prosecution in the types of cases that Jonathan Luna's friend investigates. Now, how does that fit into the bigger picture? We're talking about CIA. We're speaking about CIA here. They're going to manipulate the entire world around Jonathan Luna and that FBI agent, and that would include the entire federal community in Baltimore, Maryland, at a minimum. That would include the courthouse itself, their private sector communities, their lives, using spycraft, psychological warfare, and psychological torture techniques of a Nazi Mengele nature, which means you have to get to the point that you realize who Dr. Mengele of the Nazis was and is as he lives through the deep state CIA, FBI, and others using twisted psychological torture, mayhem, and confusion. Somewhere along the way, they needed to own that community, and they being the CIA. So they enter into criminal enterprise with members of the FBI, the Marshal Service, and other places based upon something. Remember, to work that psychology of torture, you can't start generally with that something. Or you have to start with that something, but you can't work them into the assassination right away. It's kind of getting confused. I'll clear the air. Goodbye, NSA, CIA. as well as FBI, and that's not very well thinking into my speech in a satanic and criminal nature. Again, with that simple witness, I've discredited statement analysis again. You all need to clean your minds. God is in receipt of a witness, and God will react to your statement analysis being corrupt and satanic. So we have this idea that the CIA, under the psychology of torture, can't get you to execute Jonathan Luna and Larry Moore on day one. They have to build this network of people that they will eventually move into the full-born, full-blooded torture and murder. So the initial activity is going to be much less, but it's going to be the old buddies network. And it's not all men, it can be women, and a lot of times it is women. And they're going to make it look like that, and they're going to enrichen some people here and enriching some people there. And then they're going to work on people's lives outside of that group using CIA, Russian spies, Mossad, Harvey Weinstein spies, type organizations. They're going to use private sector spying corporations that are going to eventually have what? Contracts with the federal government. Do you see how this is working? And they're going to investigate things at times for governments outside of government requirement. But yet they're psychologically operating at the level of combat, military-grade operation to distort the panoramic view that an investigation could take of a specific crime or criminal activity. They're going to use military, trillion-dollar military grade, psychological warfare, psychological torture techniques that are known to alter people to effectuate their cause. And their cause is to cause a communist government to exist in the United States that enriches itself and its selected cronies. And the link to the entire organization will be spycraft manipulated to appear to be something else. Now, there's about 5 or 6 different things they're trying to do in each operation. And they don't have to accomplish all of them. Now, it's just a number. It could be 20, it could be 5, it could be 10, it could be 3. But what I've noticed, they rarely do one thing because you can't hide when you're not confusing and overloading. So they can't hide as well if they're not attempting to do a ton of things, and they're not able to effectuate that crime if they don't attempt additional crimes, because you can block a few of the crimes and the effects of those crimes, but you can't block all of it unless we were an honest country. And we're not today because of our government employees, federal, state, and local. They've infiltrated. Face it, they infiltrated in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and then it dropped off. Nobody wanted to speak about it because they're there. And they've been there, and they're Mueller, and they're Comey, and they're Rosenstein. So they needed John gone. They were probably hoping also the friend might have some issue. I've told you before, I saw that person in a gym, and that person had the look of somebody that was drugged. That person had the look of somebody that was drugged. Because at times I could see that person in the mirror when they drugged me. So I knew something was going on then, but I didn't know everything. And again, I didn't start off saying that it was CIA. I didn't know it was CIA. I thought it was an independent CIA business. The CIA is not working for the United States of America, even if it's there officially. It's working for an independent enterprise that will create state-approved businesses that will enrichen the state-approved recipients. We're in a spycraft-run communist nation today, and they killed Jonathan Luna, tried to kill his friend, and tried to kill me. And what they're also doing is they're temperament testing everyone. Again, Nazi Mengele wants to know, and the FBI, the psychologists want to know who's not going to accept the communist assassinations. Who is too loyal to the United States to ever accept a Nazi communist government? Now, you'll hear AOC say everything that I'm saying. You will hear AOC say much of what I'm saying in a non-intelligent fashion. That's because they're putting her there. They're moving her to use my terminology. That's their cover, or their hope of cover. And they also would hope that the president would become irritated at such terminology as they use it against him and develop an aversion. He should just keep barreling through it. There's nothing you can do. If you give in one iota to them, they'll see it as a score, and they'll try to kill you all over again. It's Nazi and communism together. The theories and power moves, and of course it's anti-power moves, of the Nazis and the communists are taking place at the hands of CIA, FBI, Marshal Service, ICE, state and local police, narcotics distributors, retail outlets, Amazon, Google, so on and so forth, together. They've developed this world, and it isn't the haves and haves not, and it's not cancel culture, and it's not every other cover theory you've projected out there to cover over your heinous Dr. Mengele Nazi behavior. And it does involve people such as Kroll, the intelligence firm that the government used along with Harvey Weinstein to do what it needs to do to take the government of the United States, federal, state, and local, make it communist, and then raise up communist businesses to be the only money left in the United States. If you want to make money, you work for the Communist Party business. And that Communist Party is a spycraft organization developed by the CIA in deference to any law, let be the rule of law, and in deference to the Bible that was written and propagated according to the work and life of Rabbi Jesus Emmanuel Christ, ben David, son of David, ben Elohim, son of God. They are the beast, but they are also a communist spycraft entity that is revolted against the United States of America, not against President Trump, not against me alone, against the United States of America. It has stolen your dream and is selling it to whoever they want to sell it to, but that includes an army of foreigners that will not respect your right to life, liberty, and happiness. That's already been proven. That's already been proven. All they want to do to you is addict you to drugs and addict your children to drugs and peddle your children in prostitution. That's what your government has actually become, but the reality within it is that many of them are the white collar side of it, the racketeering cover-up of it. They don't want to look too close at it. Again, Robin Gritz investigated too much. Bob Levinson investigated too much. Jonathan Luna and his friend investigated too much. Well, praise God in all that you do. Praise God.
You are listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.